What an intro. Welcome to the 2025 Atlanta Sports Awards presented by the Atlanta Sports Council. I'm Maria Martin, and tonight we're not only honoring the best of the year in Atlanta sports, but we're also celebrating 20 years of the Atlanta Sports Awards. This is going to be such an action-packed 60 minutes, and we begin with a fun midsummer week at the ballpark, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game at Truist Park, one of the top sports moments, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game returned to Atlanta for the first time in 25 years, and the first time ever at Truist Park. And there were fireworks. The game was tied 6-6 after 9 innings, and instead of extra innings, the winner was decided by a brand new swing-off, essentially a mini home run derby. Kyle Schwarber was the hero for the National League, launching 3 home runs on 3 swings in the swing-off, clinching the NL's first All-Star win in 3 years. The game also featured a tribute to Hank Aaron, with projection mapping, fireworks representing his iconic 715th home run, and the presence of his wife receiving a standing ovation from the packed stadium. The night before the game, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history by becoming the first catcher ever to win the Derby. Brave slugger Matt Olson, who attended the 2000 home run derby at Turner Field as a kid, also competed in the 2025 Derby.
The reaction of the intros and then the support during the round was awesome. Probably the loudest I've heard the place when I kind of got going there a little bit in the second half. Ton of fun.
It was really a 5-day stretch of events as Atlanta hosted the HBCU Swingman Classic, the Futures Game, a Legends Game, and the Celebrity Softball Spectacle. More than 40,000 fans attended both the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. Wish we could do that every summer. We're going to have much more of those moments throughout the entire show, and as you'll see in the next hour, there are a lot of major events at venues across Metro Atlanta. The next event at Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be the high school football and flag football state championships, scheduled for Monday through Wednesday. Every Friday night, beginning back in mid-August, we showcase the top high school football plays and players in our Team 1-1 broadcast, and this coming week promises to be one of the most competitive state championship weeks in a very long time. The Class 6A championship features 2 teams, each ranked number 1 in a national poll. The Carrollton Trojans own the top spot in the Max Preps national poll, while the Buford Wolves are the kings of the USA Today high school football rankings. In fact, Buford and Carrollton are 1 and 2 in the USA Today poll, meaning Tuesday night's game, of course, is likely for the national championship. 2 great seasons for 2 great programs. Both are 14-0. Now, it's a record-breaking season for the Creekside Seminoles. The Class 4A finalist broke the Georgia high school record for most points in a single season. The Tribe is at 803 points and counting. That's a little more than 57 points per game. Creekside plays Benedictine Monday night for the 4A championship. Benedictine has 4 state titles in the last 12 seasons. A milestone for one of the state's coaching legends. In October, Alan Chadwick of Marist won his 450th game as a head coach. He's the second coach in Georgia history to do that, by the way. Chadwick has fronted the Marist program for 41 seasons with no signs of slowing down, and the War Eagles had another great season, advancing to the semifinals. This is the 20th year of the Atlanta Sports Awards, and every single year, the Atlanta Sports Council selects a titan of the local sports scene to honor with its Lifetime Achievement Award. This year, we're catching up with some of the previous award winners. Reggie Chatman sat down recently with Steve Koonin, the CEO of the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena, and the 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient.
All right, we're celebrating 20 years of the Atlanta Sports Awards and our Lifetime Achievement Award. Steve Koonin joining me now, the CEO of the Atlanta Hawks, as well as State Farm Arena, the winner in 2020. Thank you so much for some time. I mean, you look at the list of the people that have won this award, anybody that's been anybody in this city that's really impacted the city. What has it meant for you over the course of the last 5 years, having won this award?
It's an incredible honor. I mean, I am so humbled by the recognition, and when I look at that list, it's like an SAT question, what doesn't belong? But we've been able to turn the Hawks, and then through my career with Turner Broadcasting and Coca-Cola, been able to be in the center of sports in Atlanta for a long time, and it just means the world to me, and I'm really, really appreciative.
You've obviously impacted the city of Atlanta so much. When you look back over the course of the last 20 years, and even the last 5 years since you've won this award, how have you kind of seen the sports world change?
The biggest change that I've seen is how sports is the only kind of social campfire that people will gather around. Sports has real unifying power in a world that's less and less unified. And so actually, I think our role is bigger in society than it's ever been. It's a balancing act. We're stewards of a team for the city. We wear Atlanta across our chest. It means a lot to the city, and so we have to make sure we do things better than good. Both do good in the community and do good on the court.
I'm curious for you, is there something that, maybe a feeling of joy or something that touches you when you get to see how it touches and affects these kids or these people that need help?
Oh yeah, it's one of the reasons I wanted to take the job, is because I think we can do more than any policy or politician in a city, because I think sports are the one thing that people go to kind of relieve the stress of the day. Sports have a real huge place in our society, and we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that outsized attention to do good.
Obviously an NBA franchise here in town, the location that it's at, the buzz that it feels like it brings, and why is it so important to have that Atlanta vibe?
Our core business is culture and competition. And we embrace the culture of Atlanta, and we amplify the culture. And then competitions, every time we get on the floor, hopefully we win and bring glory to the city. But it's about the culture. Atlanta influences everything, and we want to be part of that.
What are you like when you're watching these games?
I am totally uncomfortable. I don't know any other job where over a 2.5-hour period, you're either validated or losing, and so it's stressful. Very stressful, but it's also joyful.
All right, Steve, you won the Lifetime Achievement Award back in 2020. Obviously, things looked a little bit different. Do you remember the day that you won that award?
I can proudly declare Chipper Jones, Hank Aaron, Arthur Blank, I'm the only recipient of this award who was not wearing pants, who had on shorts and a suit and a tie when he accepted his award. It's a real honor to be this year's Atlanta Sports Council Lifetime Achievement Award winner, because I wrote it myself, produced it myself, and emailed it in, and received my trophy via the mail days afterwards. So I think it was a perfect metaphor for kind of me and my relationship in Atlanta.
Awesome stuff from Steve and Reggie. I love that. All right, plenty more to come on the Atlanta Sports Awards presented by the Atlanta Sports Council. It was such an eventful year in women's sports, from the meteoric rise of the Atlanta Dream to a history-making afternoon at Truist Park. We'll cover it all. Stay with us.
I'm Dan Corso, president of the Atlanta Sports Council, and this is my 26th year with the organization. So in the early 1980s, the Atlanta business community had this vision to recognize the potential for significant economic impact through hosting sporting events here in Atlanta. And in 1985, they took that vision to fruition and formed Atlanta Sports Council as a division of the Metro Atlanta Chamber. One of the biggest compliments we can say about Atlanta is that groups like the NFL and the College Football Playoff Group and the NCAA, they are selecting Atlanta multiple times. And you know you're doing something right as a host city when you get repeat business. We've got people that know how to work together, that work well together, and then we've got an infrastructure that's really second to none. It starts with the airport and our connectivity to the world. For global events, you need that. Then you've got venues in downtown and all over the region that are first class, surrounded by nearly 100,000 hotel rooms in the entire metro area, and then a walkable footprint in downtown. The 1996 Summer Olympics was incredibly huge for Atlanta. Everybody knows that. And it really put us on a map and gave us the confidence to host any sporting event in the world. And the fact that 30 years later, nearly 30 years later, we're going to host the FIFA World Cup here in Atlanta, I think is a great way to kind of bookend 96 to 26 and the potential with an active bid to get the Women's World Cup here in 2031, which we're working on now. So a 35-year period to have the three biggest sporting events in the world come through Atlanta it would be incredible, and I think something all of us should be very proud of.
when you have somebody like Hank Aaron that gets honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award, I think that's saying a lot. And then to be able to touch all facets of sports, which it does, that says a lot. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
I love that. That was Vince Dooley in 2007, the second edition of the Atlanta Sports Awards. What a throwback. He was the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient that year. And of course, you heard him mention Hank Aaron. Hammer and Hank received the first Lifetime Achievement Award from the Atlanta Sports Council back in 2006. Over the last 20 years, women's sports has grown exponentially. The WNBA has been at the forefront of that continued growth. Here in Atlanta, the Dream, they continue to be one of the most exciting events in town, and they're certainly on the rise. Reggie Chatman catches up with one of the minds behind their turnaround, head coach Carl Smesko, in this year's Coaching Spotlight.
What's going on, Carl? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
Have you had an opportunity to kind of look back on what this year looked like for you as your first year coaching in the W? What was it like?
Well, I mean, it was an enjoyable experience. I really enjoyed our players. They had great attitude, great work ethic. Thought we made some tremendous strides in year one.
What was it like building the trust and the love amongst this team and building the culture that you wanted to implement here over the course of the year? And how did you see it kind of grow throughout the entire season?
I think a lot of that is just the players you have. Like, if you have good people that care about each other, and you know, I was very fortunate. I walked into it, a lot of that. So that made the learning process and the ability to make improvement and get better as a team a lot easier when you already have really good team chemistry and really good people to work with.
Is there a fun aspect to going into the season, recognizing what kind of roster you have and finding ways to unlock those different things? Because I remember at the beginning of the year, everybody was so excited, the opportunity to be able to shoot the ball a little bit more, run around.
Well, the fun is seeing players get to do what they do best, and then seeing them improve areas. And I think they get excited when they can see growth in themselves and then growth as a team. When they can actually see the progress, which, you know, sometimes it's not so easy to see because it is a process that takes time, but I think our players really early had some early success, and they saw that it could work if they you know, wanted to put in the time and the effort to make it work.
Do you have a favorite moment from the course of this season?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of great moments and a lot of great wins. You know, Phoenix made the finals. We beat them all 3 times we played them. Minnesota had the best regular season record. We beat them 2 out of 3 times. So those are good moments. But if you're talking about just one moment, Nas hit a game winner in Dallas, and for her to hit the game-winning 3, no less, when she hadn't hit but maybe 2 or 3 threes in her whole W career before that. I mean, I think that was kind of a special moment for everyone.
What I really like is you always saying the goal is championship. Why at this moment do you feel like that this is the goal, and what do you think it's going to take that next step after this last season to be able to achieve it?
I think we had a team that could have done it this year, so that's why it hurts and it's disappointing, and that's why the coaches are here today continuing to watch film. And you know, we'll already have a head start over last year because we have a better understanding of our players. We have a better understanding of the league. We were not far off this year. I know, you know, it was in the first round, but you know, we were 10 seconds away from advancing. I think people recognize that Atlanta is going to be a team that has to be dealt with for a number of years to come.
Do you like these personal awards, or are you just you more focused on team?
Like personal award, I like when our players receive awards.
What about you though? If the lights are bright on you now.
I'm more of a background person. Like that, to me, that's not really the coach's role. Coach's role to help players be out there and show what they can do. That's when I feel like I'm at my best. When the players are out there and they're able to show all their hard work and everything they put in, they're able to show it in front of the crowd, in front of the TV cameras, what they're capable of doing. You know, everybody can see how much they're getting better and how well they're able to play as a unit. That's the reward as a coach.
They're definitely an exciting team, that is for sure. The success of the Atlanta Dream is one of several prominent storylines involving women's sports in 2025. In fact, there's plenty to look forward to in future years, and that includes the upcoming Winter Olympics in Italy and a new women's soccer team coming to the A. We were there when Mayor Andre Dickens, U.S. Soccer President Cindy Parlow-Cone, and NWSL Commissioner Jessica Berman rolled out the red carpet for the brand new franchise. Arthur Blank and AMB Sports and Entertainment take the reins of the newest addition to the Atlanta sports scene. The new National Women's Soccer League club will take some time to name, but its inaugural season will happen in 2028. The club will call Mercedes-Benz Stadium home and will also have a brand new state-of-the-art training facility. This NWSL expansion team marks the return of professional women's soccer to our city. The Atlanta Beat were a part of the WUSA and WPS in the early and mid-2000s. For NWSL Commissioner Jessica Berman, Atlanta was a no-brainer.
This market in particular has shown how much they love the sport of soccer and the way they rally around, in particular, Arthur and his investment in the community. And we know that these sports teams are community assets and that the way to build them is from the ground up. And this community has demonstrated that they will show up when it's built in that way.
And we are less than 60 days away from the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. It has been quite an Olympic journey for Georgia native Alana Myers-Taylor. After picking up the sport of bobsled in 2007, she is looking to make her 5th Olympic team.
Because I had a dream to be an Olympian. I was going to do whatever it took. And growing up right outside Atlanta, I saw the 1996 Games in person, live, and I just wanted to be a part in any way I could. So seeing that, I thought it'd be a summer sport. So I went for softball. I had an Olympic tryout and totally had the worst tryout in the history of tryouts. So I knew if I wanted to be Olympian, I needed a new sport. So my parents actually saw bobsled on TV, said, hey, why don't you try this one? I Googled it, emailed the coach, and got invited to a tryout. And that was 2007, and here I am today.
What a fun story. And it was in Atlanta where history was made this past summer. Coming up a little bit later in the show, the story of Jen Powell and how an August game between the Braves and the Marlins made headlines everywhere. Now, we already know Atlanta is running City USA, but it's also making a play to be Soccer City USA. We talked a few minutes ago about the women's pro team coming to Atlanta, and of course, Atlanta United is hoping to come back strong in 2026. Throw in the U.S. Soccer National Training Center under construction in Fayetteville, and we are more than ready to welcome the best soccer stars in the country. But why should we stop there? The world, they are coming this summer, and we got a preview of it a few months ago. Our Reggie Chatman putting in the work for us. He joins us for more on the FIFA Club World Cup, one of the top sports moments here in 2025.
Atlanta was one of the host cities for the 2025 Club World Cup, with Mercedes-Benz Stadium hosting 6 matches, including a quarterfinal.
Yeah, I think it's something special and new for us, so personally, I enjoyed it.
The teams coming to the A were Chelsea and Manchester City from the English Premier League and Inter Miami from Major League Soccer, featuring superstar Lionel Messi. Messi created the most lasting and dramatic moments from the Atlanta matches, drilling a winning free kick in a 2-1 decision over FC Porto. Hosting 6 matches, more than any other U.S. city for the 2025 tournament, furthered Atlanta's reputation as a major player in global soccer. Overall, the FIFA Club World Cup served as a test run for what we will see this summer when the FIFA World Cup brings 8 matches to Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Going to be unbelievable. Hey, by the way, we're not even halfway through the Atlanta Sports Awards presented by the Atlanta Sports Council. Coming up, we're honoring our unsung heroes. We're making sports safer for all ages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Atlanta Sports Awards presented by the Atlanta Sports Council. The WNBA is full of superstars, from Asia Wilson to Caitlin Clark. We in Atlanta have our fair share of stars, including one who was certainly underrated, but not anymore. Reggie Chatman sits down with Alicia Gray on her MVP-worthy season for this year's Outstanding Pro Athlete.
All right, happy to be joined by Atlanta Dream superstar Alicia Gray after what was an incredible year for you and your team. Alicia, were here at Core 4. You're getting into some off-season work. We'll start with that. I mean, what's kind of off-season like been for you after really what was an incredible year?
I mean, the off-season's been very chill for me. It's been filled with a lot of golfing. I've taken a lot of vacations sitting around golf, so I've just been enjoying life, and now that my vacation's over, now I'm officially back in the gym.
Feels like something that you're constantly working towards and getting better at. I'm assuming the same thing with your basketball game, right? Coming into this last season, was there anything that you maybe did different? This last year, first team all WNBA, an all-star starter. What was maybe the difference for you coming into the year?
I think just the system that Carr put us in allows us to shoot a lot of threes. And I love shooting threes. Even when you think you're not open, you're open, and he tells you you're open. So it's just one of those things where, like, he encourages you to shoot the ball. He always instills that confidence in me that I'm one of the top players in this league, and he really put that into me this season. I feel like I really believed it and was able to accomplish it and prove him right.
When you've been an all-star a couple of times before, to be able to go out there as the starter for the WNBA All-Star game, what was that like?
It was really cool. Once again, that wasn't on my bingo card either. For me, it was going in being just an all-star. But then when I got the call that I was an all-star starter, I mean, that just proves all the hard work that I put in this season, and like I was very excited.
All right, obviously you're an all-star starter, but the all-star game is not something that's new to you. You're somebody that won the skills competition, three-point shooting contest in the same year a season ago. Was it about those moments, the lights being the brightest, that allows you to show up in those moments?
Once again, it wasn't on my bingo card to win both of them. For me, my main focus was going to win the skills challenge. Won the three-point challenge too, so I was like, oh wow, like to this day that moment changed my life. From then on, like everything just been on the up.
How has your life changed? Like you said, obviously since then, but really over the course of this last year where you became such a household name across the W?
Making more money, more endorsements, so that's been cool. People like recognizing me more, like that's cool as well. So I just think overall, like being more recognizable. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I can just go out, do my thing or whatever, but now it's just like people know who we are now. Just going to the grocery store, people recognizing who you are. It's just like, just being more aware of my surroundings now, and just like carrying myself in a good light.
What is it about the league that has maybe changed over the last 3 or 4 years that has allowed it to kind of explode, and where do you kind of see the WNBA going over the course of the next 5?
I'll say the visibility is more. People are really tuned into women's basketball. People are not like bad-mouthing as much as they used to. Like people actually watching us play and like actually enjoying the games.
The whole goal is to try and win a championship. You guys didn't achieve it this last year, but have your sights set on doing just that. What is it about this last year that you think is repeatable as a team and as a franchise that can take you guys to the next level to win a championship?
I think just this season alone, we made a big step. I feel like only us believe that we could finish as well as we did. I know we fell a little short in the playoffs, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, it takes time, but I feel like we're definitely going in the right direction. Just tweaking some minor things, like finishing out games strong. We start strong, finish strong. But I think that if we nip those things in the bud, I think we'll make it further in the playoffs next year and being able to compete for a championship.
The most humble superstar, Alicia Gray. Now, we all know it wasn't a great season for the Braves in terms of wins and losses, but Drake Baldwin, he showed that he has what it takes to be the ball club's catcher of the future. Baldwin won the National League Rookie of the Year award, a year in which he cracked 19 homers to go along with 18 doubles and drove in 80 runs. Drake is the 3rd Braves rookie to win the award in the last decade and the 10th in the Atlanta era of the Braves.
It went by pretty quick with how fun it was. I mean, the amount of really good guys who are on the Braves that make it worth going to the locker room every single day. I'll probably have to wrap up this award as well, just kind of realize how much it really means. It's still kind of surreal right now, but yeah, it's just an incredible year, and was super excited it's ending this way.
You know I can't wait for spring training 2026, but before we get to sunny Florida for a new baseball season, there is still plenty of college football to talk about here in Atlanta. UGA won the SEC championship for the 2nd straight season in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, defeating that albatross known as the Alabama Crimson Tide. Georgia has a few weeks off until its first college football playoff game in New Orleans against either Ole Miss or Tulane. The Dogs have the number 3 seed in the CFP, and they seem to be peaking at just the right right time. Georgia Tech, they are Florida bound. The Yellow Jackets had another great season, rocketing to an 8-0 start and reaching 9 wins overall. They'll play BYU, a team that just missed the college football playoff. They'll play them in the Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando 2 days after Christmas. And nobody will forget this Kennesaw State football team. The Owls absolutely shocked the world by winning Conference USA in its second season in the league. KSU sits at 10 wins. Head coach Jerry Mack just got a 6-year extension, and the Owls will play in the Myrtle Beach Bowl on Friday against Western Michigan. And if you want more college football in the ATL, Mercedes-Benz Stadium will host a college football playoff semifinal on January 9th. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl will decide one of the teams to play in the championship game. Such a big college football game in Atlanta. I think we're pretty used to those around here. All right, when we think of unsung heroes, we think of those who make meaningful contributions without getting the praise that they rightfully deserve. This year, we're honoring the people behind a popular invention you might notice when you watch those football games. Their goal, reduce the severity of head collisions and lowering concussion rates. It's called the Guardian Cap.
A typical football player gets 800 to 1,500 hits to his head every football season, and that's what we're reducing. We're reducing those impacts.
Guardian caps are everywhere in sports.
The Guardian cap is just a soft cover, a soft shell that fits on top of, it basically floats on top of the football helmet. It's just attached through 4 elastic straps on the face mask. And so it moves, it shifts, it redirects those forces around the helmet, and it's padded so those linear forces are reduced as well.
They are mandated by the NFL and CFL in an effort to make the game safer for the athletes playing it. The company Guardian was founded by Aaron and Lee Hansen in 2011, right in Metro Atlanta in Peachtree Corners. How many square feet is this?
Right around 90,000 square feet.
And you filled the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Lee had a project come to him on the Hansen Group side, on the material science side, to flex the exterior of the football helmet. And that was just too ahead of its time. And we were told that, you know, the revenue for football at the time came from television, and we needed to hear those helmets crashing one another. And we as parents said, but that's our child's brain you're talking about. And that's when we said, that's not okay. And how do we retrofit every helmet out there for practice? We thought, you know what, if they don't want to change the helmet for game, that's too radical, we'll change practice. And so we just wanted to pad practices up to reduce those impacts over time.
The University of South Carolina was the first college program to use the Guardian cap. It was noticed by the NFL in 2017 and then mandated during practice for certain position groups by the NFL in 2022.
So you've got impact reduction this way. You can bang hands between the helmet. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's not bad at all.
No. So this is the cap the NFL is using. Right. This is an extra large version. There's one helmet that the NFL uses that needs the extra large, but the NFL has that extra layer inside because the speeds they hit at are they're so fast and so strong.
And the company doesn't just provide Guardian caps.
I wanted a clear bucket so when they're on the shelf, you can look in and see the bright yellow optic ones or the white ones or whatever color they are.
They have many other products and projects to constantly innovate player safety at all levels in various sports.
So this is our new infill.
Squeeze it. How soft it is.
They're like pillows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice
it's not abrasive, so when it gets in your shoes, it doesn't cut your feet up.
It's so soft.
Yeah, and so the athletes love it because it doesn't cut their feet up, they fall on it, they don't skin their arms up. There's so many things that are beneficial. Until you can prove that you are doing something great and something that's purposeful, people are hesitant. But I think we've reached the point after 15 years with the NFL validating and all the colleges that are validating it. They wouldn't be using this. Alabama would not be using this, and Georgia and everyone else every day if it wasn't working.
Unbelievable stuff being done in that building and great work being done all across the sports world trying to make our athletes safer. Time now for another look at one of the Atlanta Sports Awards top sports moments of 2025. An otherwise sleepy summer weekend baseball game at Truist Park made national headlines. Jen Powell became the first woman to umpire a Major League Baseball regular season game when she took her spot on the first baseline for a Braves-Marlins game. This was so cool. She received a standing ovation and talked about her experience afterwards.
I mean, we were in plan it today, right? Like I was this morning, I'm like, we just got to get out there now. We got to do this and make some calls, because I was, just all the emotion and stuff talking about it the past few days since the news broke, and just having it as a dream for 10 years. The dream came true today, and it's just been incredible. I understand the gravity completely, and the outpouring of just the support that I've had over the years, of just people knowing that this is my goal, and I'm taking this seriously, and they were taking me seriously. So, and it's culminated to today. So it's just fuel for the fire. I'm gonna go out there and work harder tonight, harder tomorrow, and just keep it going.
Truly historic. What an unbelievable moment that was at Truist Park. And we've certainly seen plenty of great moments over the 40 years of the Atlanta Sports Council. Right now, we continue our look back at the 20 years of the Atlanta Sports Awards with another Lifetime Achievement Award honoree. Rich McKay is the Chief Executive Officer of A&B Sports and Entertainment and the Atlanta Falcons. He's the 2023 winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award, and recently I sat down with him at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to catch up on his career since being here in Atlanta. This is the year that we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Atlanta Sports Awards, and there have been so many Lifetime Achievement Award winners. Bobby Cox is one of them, Warwick Dunn, one of them yourself in 2023. As a previous Lifetime Achievement Award winner, what does it mean to you to be a part of a group like that?
The cool thing about that group of award winners is they all come from different places, right? Some were athletes, some were managers or coaches, some were citizens doing the right thing, some were in the business of sports. So I like the fact that they all come from different places. That's kind of a little bit of what Atlanta is. We've kind of had this idea that we can be this big, but we can do things that are this big, and I think that's what that award probably symbolizes.
Throughout your professional career, you've worn many hats. If you were going to give some advice to a young professional asking you, hey, how do I be successful in sports, what would you say?
Be good at what you do every day, and you will get noticed, and you will succeed. Don't ever look at opportunities and say, that's not really what I want to do, so I'll just pass that. I got the opportunity as a young lawyer to work on a stadium lease. I told the owner, I'm not sure I'm qualified to do this. I ended up doing it. And I ended up doing 2 stadium deals, and probably a large part of my career based on doing that work that I didn't think I should be doing.
What did you learn from some of those moments in your career where you thought, okay, this might not be what I thought I was going to do, however, it opened all those doors like you're talking about?
Number one, take pride in yourself and what you can do, but don't ever hesitate to reach over and ask for help. I think the beauty of practicing law for me was we were in a small firm. There were 7 of us, 8 of us when we started. There were 15 as we moved up. And I think what benefited me the most was I always treated that door as open. That really helped me when I got to be in the football world, because all of a sudden, you're making draft picks, and some people want to make draft picks that have their name on it. I wanted to make a draft pick that had our name on it, because I always felt like those people, the scouts, knew better than I. So I just think that sometimes don't let your ego get in the way.
You've been very passionate about pouring into girls and women's sports over the last couple of years as the CEO of AMBSE. Why? Why is that important?
So for me, the girls flag football has been an important project for us and for me. And the reason it was important for us is because girls have opportunities to play many sports, but in the team sports, they don't have all the opportunities that maybe boys have. And this is a perfect sport that you can roll out. It doesn't require any of the things that tend to exclude kids. It includes kids. What I give credit to is not just us and AMBSE, but I give credit to the state and the GHSA, because they leaned into it. And we're at we're 300-something schools, and it's crazy, and that's great. I love that.
And it's getting bigger. Up next, the end of an era. We sit down with former Braves manager Brian Snitker, who told us there was an aha moment when he knew that this season would be his last season in the dugout.
I had a mini panic attack thinking if that alarm goes off, I'll never make it down those stairs.
That full conversation is next when the Atlanta Sports Awards, presented by the Atlanta Sports Council, continues.
and giving back in a variety of ways. And I think that giving back in a variety of ways is just as important and an equal opportunity for all of us. And that's really a great legacy, I think.
I know that sports has done more for me than I've been able to do for any sport.
I think most people will tell you I'm pretty used to getting lustily booed when I go into opposing ballparks, and to be getting standing ovations and whatnot lets you know that 19 years didn't go unnoticed.
Some unreal legends hosted and honored by the Atlanta Sports Council and 11Alive over the years. Let's shift gears now and talk once again about the city of Atlanta and how big-time sporting events just keep finding their way to our backyard. I sat down with the president of Atlanta Sports Council, Dan Corso, and the chair of the Atlanta Sports Council Board of Directors, Jeff Dunn, to talk about what a year it was and what we have to look forward to very soon.
We started the year with the College Football Playoff National Championship, the second time we hosted it, the first city in the U.S. to host that great event 2 times, with Ohio State and Notre Dame playing in that game. Then we followed up with the men's basketball regional in State Farm Arena, as Jeff mentioned. Then we hosted the Club World Cup, which is a brand new event from FIFA, and it's kind of a prelim to the World Cup next summer. Right. That was successful with 6 matches, and then we ended the summer, of course, with the MLB All-Star Game for the 3rd time. And I tell you, those events, within 8 months, there's not another city in America that could pull that off other than Atlanta, and we did a really great job with it.
Jeff, the All-Star Game was incredible, wasn't it?
The All-Star Game was incredible, and I think people forget it's a full weekend. So you also hosted the draft at the Roxy, as well as the Home Run Derby, and the feedback from Major League Baseball and from fans has been incredible. So it's a premier destination. I mean, if you look at what the Atlanta Braves have done with the Battery, and we've been a part of that, being Truist Park has been outstanding, and it is truly a model for other teams.
What are some of the benefits to not just our city but our region in bringing some of these global events right here to Atlanta?
Well, we look at the purpose, of course, of recruiting and hosting these big events is not just a city of Atlanta, Metro Atlanta impact. We try to impact the entire state. And so whether that's economic impact from the visitors coming in or the media exposure that we get from the broadcast or the coverage, that's one benefit. We also try to engage Atlantans and Georgians in the hosting and organizing of the event through volunteering. And we've got a database of thousands of people who have volunteered not only for the events that we've had this year, but the events that we have coming up in the future. So there's engagement from the citizens, from the residents, and then we try to give back to the community by way of helping out organizations or people that are in need. And an example would be our College Football Playoff Championship earlier this year. We partnered with the CFP Foundation and Georgia Power, and we were able to give $3 million back to the state of Georgia and teachers throughout the state in every county. So the event comes in, the visitors come in, the event happens, it's a great televised event, but there's impact after the event happens, and that's one of the reasons we do this.
FIFA Final Draw just happened, and a lot of excitement for fans. We saw the watch party. Tell me what the watch party was like and what we can look forward to.
Well, I think the watch party is of course, where FIFA does the draw, the tournament selection, and that's where countries know where they're going, and cities like us that are hosting these matches know who's coming. And that was a celebration. It is also kind of the next milestone to get ready for the summer. Now we know what dates we're having matches, what times those matches are, and who's playing in those matches. So now the planning really begins. But look, our path to World Cup began back in 2018 when North America was selected to host. We worked very hard to become a host city. That was announced in 2022. And then in February of last year, we learned that we would host 8 matches, including a semifinal, which is going to be incredible here. And then this past weekend at the draw, we found out who's coming. So it's been a long path. We still have under 200 days to go, as we talked about, but we're ready to go. It's going to be really exciting.
Mercedes-Benz is going to be showcased internationally. Yeah. So we've had a number of national events, whether it's Super Bowl, College Football Championship. It always shows incredibly well. The Falcons and everybody that works at the stadium are outstanding, and I think it will show as the premier destination for all the venues.
And just to add to this point on the stadium, there's a reason why we were selected for 8 matches and a semifinal, and we could talk about the group stage matches and those 5, but to have 3 knockout rounds inside Mercedes Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The reason we believe that we were selected for 8 matches is because of the stadium, and also because of, quite frankly, what they do with soccer on an international basis. Now the new home to the U.S. soccer team, but also our run with the Club World Cup this summer helped us kind of prepare for next summer.
Take a peek behind the curtain for everyone listening on what it's like to plan these large events. You mentioned going back all the way before 2018, the idea of bringing a World Cup to Atlanta. It's hard to plan these things.
It is. It takes a lot of collaboration, and I think that's one of the advantages we have in Atlanta, in that we work so closely with partners, whether it's the stadium, the city, the state, the Georgia World Congress Center, the Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, companies like Truist and many others. It takes all of those organizations to not only plan and organize, but also help fund these events, because you've got, a lot of responsibility to put on these events. It takes, on average, 2 to 3 years to stand up a host committee, which we do underneath the Atlanta Sports Council, and organize and run the event. The World Cup is the exception. It's been 5-6 years since we've been organizing it, so we're really looking forward to that.
It's the coordination and the passion. So the stakeholders that are involved all have the same goal. And getting there early, like when you start to think about planning, Dan, when's the NCAA Final Four? We're
in 31, right?
31. So that's how long the team starts to think about planning and what other events are happening, and the help from the hotels, the help from the municipalities certainly make a difference.
The Atlanta Sports Council has a couple of big events coming up. What can you tell us about those 2 major events that you're booked for?
So when we get through World Cup next year, we'll take maybe a brief nap, take a little break, but we'll be on the clock for our next Super Bowl.
There's no time for napping.
There is none, maybe an hour or 2. But we'll be on the clock for our next Super Bowl in 2028, Super Bowl 62, and working in partnership with the Falcons and many others on that. Then we have the men's Final Four coming back in 2031. But we've got active bids out now for events in 2031, 32, and 33. So as I said earlier, the purpose of our organization is to go out and get the biggest and the baddest sporting events and have them come to Atlanta. We've got a nice pipeline in the future, and the future looks very bright.
How do you not love sports in this city? All the big events, all the time. The Atlanta Sports Council is honoring another outstanding coach this year, Brian Snitker. The Braves manager retired from that position in October after 9 seasons leading the Braves. He led the team to the 2021 World Series title, and he's been with the organization for 49 years. I sat down with him in, where else, the Truist Park dugout shortly after he retired, where he reflected on his career.
Great memories here, obviously, opening it through the last game here, the playoffs, and it's a great place to come to work. I mean, this is beautiful. You look around. It's a destination point now, I think, in the industry.
In October, the Atlanta Braves announced their longtime manager, Brian Snitker, would be stepping down after 6 NL East crowns, 7 postseason berths over a decade, and a World Series championship. Snit heads to an advisory role with the organization.
The Braves have always been a destination franchise, but what you did throughout your career really encouraged guys to continue to come and play for the Braves. 6 division titles, a World Series championship. When you hear people tell you that, what goes through your mind?
It's still a little surreal. I mean, I never, and I say this and mean it, that I never thought I'd manage one day, let alone 10 years. What we did and, help put up a bunch of flags out there and great memories. It's been a great 50 years, quite honestly. I mean, hadn't been easy, but it's been fun. I look back, not many regrets, I know that, and raised my family in the minor leagues and here, and now my grandsons got to come here and roam the place. It's been really cool.
I can't imagine how difficult of a decision it was for you after 50 years in the same organization to decide this is my time to step away. How difficult was that decision?
And I'm stepping away from this job. I'm not leaving the organization. I'm still going to be around and be a part of it and be a Brave. But it is tough. I said too, I think if you wait to retire till you're ready, you never will. Could I kept going? Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I remember Bobby told me that too, his last year. He goes, wow, if I knew I was going to feel this good, I wouldn't have retired. And I'm glad I feel this good because there's some things I want to do and some traveling I'd like Ronnie and I to be able to do.
Was there an aha moment for you that made you feel like you were ready?
It's kind of corny. I woke up on the 53rd floor in New York this year, and it was really hot outside, and I had a mini panic attack thinking if that alarm goes off, I'll never make it down those stairs. I told the travel secretary, it's like, I can't be up that high anymore. And I never thought about it before. I'd always look out and see oversee Central Park or something and think how cool it was, and then I started thinking weird things. I think it's time. So it's always been a family affair, which I think is good and which has allowed me to spend 50 years in one spot. And I'm very appreciative and blessed to have had a family that allowed me to do what I wanted to do.
50 years is unbelievable. You're an anomaly in sports these days. It doesn't happen like that anymore.
Yeah.
How grateful are you that you were given that opportunity to stay as long as you were?
Oh my God, I've been blessed. And I say I've been blessed. I've been raised by Hall of Famers. You know, first and foremost was Hank Aaron to give me this opportunity years ago. So I've been with a great organization. It's always been about the people. It's always been about family. Not a lot of guys can say that. I mean, it hasn't been all really easy either. I mean, there have been some tough decisions. I could have left a couple of times, and after reflecting and chose not to, and I'm glad I did, because I don't think the grass probably is greener on the other side.
What do you want your biggest takeaway to be from the last 50 years of your life?
That I represented the organization, my family, myself, and did it the right way with respect to the game, and it wasn't about me. Always wanted it to be about the players. Any awards you get, it's because of the players and the organization, and we're just the recipient of it because you're at the head of the line. And I wanted the players to always look forward to coming to the ballpark. And you know what? You're never guaranteed tomorrow, so enjoy the heck out of today and just suck the life out of it.
And the Braves will induct Snit into their Hall of Fame next year. We also had a trio of Georgia Tech retirements in the last 12 months. Danny Hall, after 32 years as a head baseball coach on the Flats, stepped away after the 2025 season. He is in the top 10 all-time in coaching victories in college baseball. Tech women's basketball coach Nell Fortner made a surprising decision to retire. She led the Yellow Jacket women for 6 seasons, and they made it to the postseason 4 of those times. She earned 272 wins in 15 seasons as a college head coach and won 3 Coach of the Year awards in 3 different Power 4 conferences. She also spent 3 seasons at the helm of the United States women's national team. And this upcoming golf season will be the last at Tech for head coach Bruce Hepler. He will finish with 31 seasons on the Flats, which includes 6 NCAA regional championships. He also coached 2 individual NCAA champions. And sadly, we had to say farewell to a legend in the NBA. Lenny Wilkens died this year at the age of 88. The 9-time All-Star and Hall of Fame coach led the Hawks to multiple 50-win seasons and 6 straight playoff appearances. Wilkens coached the Hawks from 1993 to 2000. The Basketball Hall of Famer was drafted by the Hawks in 1960 when the franchise was based in St. Louis, someone the Hawks and basketball fans will always remember and simply will truly miss. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It was a championship season right here in Atlanta. The Atlanta Drive are the first ever champions of the TGL. The trio of Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, and Billy Horschel completed an epic comeback against New York Golf Club, earning themselves a $9 million purse. This is the high-tech golf league played by top PGA Tour players in a custom-built arena down there in Florida. Falcons owner Arthur Blank runs the Atlanta team, and now they can claim to be the best of the best. Season 2 starts early in 2026, and we expect the Atlanta Drive to be a pretty strong contender to repeat. It has been an unbelievable year in Atlanta sports, and we still have a few weeks to go. The Braves are making off-season moves, and we have college football teams getting ready for bowl season. And think about it, when we rejoin you in a year, we will have seen 8 FIFA World Cup matches right here in Atlanta, and we'll be 1 year closer to a Super Bowl and a men's Final Four here in the A. Can't wait to see what the next 12 months have in store. Hopefully it's as good as this year. For everyone at the Atlanta Sports Council and all of us here at 11Alive, thank you so much for watching each and every year. I'm Maria Martin, and I'll see you in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl.
I can never say thank you enough to my wife and to my kids, because they're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And this decision has been just as hard on them as it has been on me.